Okay, so now you have made at least one jump ring, if not two or three. You've made 2 earring hooks, and now we need to make the bead dangles, okay? And to do the bead dangles, I need to first make head pins. So head pins are like wires with a decorative end or something on the end to stop the bead from falling through, okay? So I'm gonna pull out my little bead dangles to show you what that looks like. Or my head pins, excuse me. I had my other pieces here. I'll show you this. Okay, so these are a bunch of different types of decorative head pins. Because I don't have my hammer to show you this today, and I'm not going to let you use torches when I'm not here, I will show you these 2 in class on Monday. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make this little loopy guy, the little snail, and then one of these angled ones. Okay, so at this point you should go up to the board and grab one of these copper wires. I'm going to start by sanding the end of my wire. Okay, so I always want to make sure that that end is sanded, just like we did with our earring hooks. Okay, sand that end, and I'm going to start by making this loop one. So just like we made our earring hooks and just like we started with our jump rings, I'm going to do the same thing. But I want it to be on the tiniest side because these are tiny little beads that are going to go on there. Okay, so I don't want anything ginormous. So I'm going to grab my metal again so it's flush on the top, wire hanging down, and I'm going to twist and make another P, just like you did with the earring hooks. Okay, make a nice tight P. So it should look like this, something like that. Okay. But we don't want it to look like a P. We actually kind of want to make it look like a lollipop. So I'm going to take my needle nose pliers again and place it right inside that loop, but this time grabbing the outside stem. See how it's on the outside and not on the loop? It's on the outside of the stem. And I'm going to do a little twist, Rich. Boop. Little twist. And now I have like a lollipop. Okay, I'm going to cut that off. Normally you wouldn't, right? You add your beads and do your stuff, and I'm going to show you how to make that in a little bit. But for right now, I just want you to practice these different types of head pins. So I'm going to cut this off with my flush cutters, and I'm going to put it in my bag. I'm going to go ahead and sand the end. And now I'm going to make the snail. I like to call it the snail because, you know, I love snails. So again, starting on the end with my round pliers, okay, flush on the top so it's not sticking out, down towards the little tapered end, and I'm going to make the P again. Should be pros by now making those little P's, okay? Now I'm going to take my needle nose or flat nose pliers, and I'm going to grab hold of that loop. You guys see that? Okay, grab hold of that loop, and I'm going to pull my wire and turn. So grab, pull, and turn. So unlike the jump rings where I wanted the metal to be next to itself, the wire to run next to itself, this time I'm grabbing and pulling so that it lines right on top of itself. So you make a little spiral. So see how it takes just a few little nudges. So now you should have a nice spiral that is flat, right? Take my round nose pliers right underneath the spiral, okay? And I'm going to turn it just a little bit so that I make the lollipop. Okay? Take your flush cutters, cut that off, put it in your bag. Sand the end. All right, now we're going to do a triangle Now, if you know how to do a triangle, you can do a square, you can do a diamond, like this one here, okay? But I'm gonna just show you how to do the triangle. Needle nose pliers, about, I don't know, about a quarter of the way up. Again, the further up you go with your needle nose pliers, the bigger that triangle will be. If it's down here, it's probably not even gonna look like a triangle because it's so tiny. So I kind of go a little bit further up, maybe a quarter of the way up, half the way up, whatever you feel like, okay? And this time, again, flush on the top, and I'm gonna pull the wire straight down. So it should look like this. Okay, so I'm pulling it straight down, and that creates a nice little ridge, and it'll look like a 7 or an L, I guess, upside down L, something like that, okay? I'm going to then grab the stem of the wire again at about the same location on my pliers, so about a quarter of the way up, and the groove there, that little corner that I made, is gonna be sticking out, okay? So I wanna have my needle nose pliers right up to that edge, and then I'm gonna go down again. So pull down, looks like this, down. And so what you'll start to see is it kind of looks like a staple, right? What I can do is take this end here in my pliers and kind of bring it into this to make my triangle. These look kind of soft. See how it looks kind of rounded, and I want it to be more straight. So I'm going to take my pliers and just squeeze in there into those edges. Look at how it makes it nice and crisp. So again, squeezing, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Okay. Hard to show in this video, so hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. And then again, I want to make it look like a lollipop, so I'm going to grab right inside and pull my wire straight. So now it looks like a lollipop. Okay, and then I'm going to trim that off. Again, you can, once you know how to make a triangle, you can make a square, you can make a diamond, etc. Okay? I will show you guys how to do these in class. In the next video, I'll show you actually how to pull all of this together to actually make your bead dangle. So whenever you've finished all of these, you can go ahead and find the beads that are on the table. Please keep them nice and orderly and pick out the colors you want. We'll talk about that in the next video.